Hey, what's up, Internet? Chris Mechanic here, along with my main man, Shlomo Trachtenberg from Web Mechanics. Today we're going to talk about tools. Everybody loves tools because they're quick, they're relatively inexpensive, they can move the needle. There's just this kind of obsession with tools these days. The number of tools is just exploding. As an agency, we have 60 different clients. Everybody's on a different tech stack. Everybody's using different tools. We're constantly testing, finding new tools, and checking them out. So today we want to share some of our favorites with you. So you're first.
So one of my favorite tools I love to use, I use it on a daily basis. It's called Optimize by Google.
Yeah.
So Optimize it's a relatively new tool from Google. It's a free tool. They have a free version, which is relevant for probably most people, and it allows you to do A/B testing on your website for free. All you got to do is just put it on your website. It's a little snippet of code, put it in, and then you can start running A/B tests for free. Why I like it is because Optimize is integrated with Google Analytics. So when I'm running an A/B test on Optimize, I could go into Google Analytics. I could import all my goals from Google Analytics and see that, and right away have those goals used as the metric for success. But also I'm able to go into Google Analytics and segment out people who visited my test and see how they performed from the site-wide perspective. Not just, a lot of times in the test it'll just show you, hey, which one performed better, but it won't show you which one visited more pages and what their journey looked like and where they left, and there's a lot more context that you get. So it has that easy integration between Google Analytics and Optimize. Another thing I like about it is that you could do personalization off of it.
Yeah.
So Optimize allows you to basically put in, let's say you find a winner, then you could start, and that winner is only for a specific segment. So you could use all your Google Analytics segments and use them as targets to be able to say, I only want to run this to 100% of traffic to mobile users in New York.
Yeah.
Get all that personalization. So I love Optimize.
Very powerful. And I remember back in the day when I was first getting started, A/B tests, even simple A/B tests, were very difficult. You needed a developer, you needed JavaScript, flip out, you needed 2 different pages and dynamically optimize. Then VWS hit the scene, Optimizely hit the scene. Google used to have, what did they call it, content experiments or something, which was
really difficult. Yeah, that wasn't easy to use.
And I love Google Analytics. It's very powerful. I could talk about it for days, but this basically bolts a pretty enterprise level personalization and testing suite right on top of Google Analytics, so you can test against all types
traditionally
of
Optimizely and some of the other tools, there was a little bit more of a complex integration between that and Google Analytics, and never matched up the numbers. So I love Optimize,
and it's free. So Google Optimize, check it out. So my turn. I absolutely love a tool called Hotjar. It's a qualitative analytics tool. There's other ones out. Lucky Orange is also very good. But Hotjar, basically, it's real simple to set up, just a snippet of JavaScript. Gives you heat maps, it gives you scroll depth tracking, it gives you user session recording, so you can actually watch users peruse the site and move around. Gives you a lot of context into what people are seeing, what they're liking, what they're maybe not understanding, if they're spending a lot of time in a certain area.
Yeah, and it's got a whole suite. It's not just heat maps, right? It's got more than that.
Oh, my favorite part about that is the surveys and the polls.
Right, those are awesome.
So there's nothing better in marketing than being able to talk to your users. If you had the funds to do a focus group and bring a bunch of real users into a room and be like, what do you like about this website? Does this headline resonate with you? Your website and your headlines would be so much better. This is the next best thing. It's like pennies on the dollar. You can pop up quick little surveys and ask things on your pricing page or on your service page.
A lot of times we use data. We're trying to find out through all this data what they're doing, what they're thinking, and sometimes it's just ask them.
Just ask them. That's it.
Pop up a poll and ask them what's preventing you from from filling out this form, from making this purchase, whatever it might be. And sometimes, but Hotjar really allows you to do that in a really awesome way.
Yep. So Hotjar, number 3.
Number 3 tool we've been using a lot recently here at Web Mechanics. It's called Klaviyo. Klaviyo is an email tool. It's basically an email tool, but it's also I like to think of it more as a personalization tool. Because Klaviyo, you put it on your website, allows you to do the classic email stuff. So you could do the abandoned carts, and you could do the post-purchase follow-ups and post-lead follow-ups, and at reactivation. But also, but really what it does is it goes on your website and it captures every interaction that someone who is signed up on your email list, how they interact with your website in every way possible. So you will see the history of that person for the past year, what they've been doing on your website, and then you could use that as a way to personalize your emails, but eventually, recently they've announced that they're moving also more towards personalization, so they'll allow you to personalize your web experiences. So they'll capture that person's history, like his purchase, he's viewed the site, and he's been to the site last year February and viewed these products. So it's a very innovative tool, and allows you to send some cool campaigns like browse abandonment. So if people come to the website, they view certain products, they're on your email list, they're there, you could trigger emails even just from what they viewed, not necessarily from an action that they took.
Yep. Awesome. Clavio. So I'm up. I love competitive spy tools. I always like to spy on competitors, see what they're doing. I like a good competitive tussle, So a couple of my favorites, which have free versions, one's called SpyFu, SPYFU. You can basically punch any URL into that, and it'll show you if they're spending on Google AdWords. It'll show you the trend of spending, so you can see like if your competitors are ramping up spend or if they're ramping it down. You can see the terms that they're bidding on. You can see their landing pages. You can see their ads. It's really, it basically just scrapes Google. I don't know how it's legal.
But it works.
Yeah, but it works.
Right.
So SpyFu, and then right in that same vein is a site called SimilarWeb. Same thing. Punch in a URL, it'll show you the approximate amount of traffic that URL gets.
And it's surprisingly accurate.
It is.
I've worked in the past on companies that have like a large amount of traffic, and I had the Google Analytics. I knew their traffic, and I punched in the URL, and it was pretty much spot on. So I don't know what they do, but they also break it down similar by traffic source, so you can see how they're doing, where they're getting their traffic from, which is cool also.
Now, one that we're experimenting with right now, it's by the people that made SpyFu. It's called Nacho Analytics, just like the nachos that you eat. But what it enables you to do is actually...
Why is it called Nacho Analytics?
Because it's not Joe Analytics, it's somebody else's. It allows you to basically look at like another website's Google Analytics. I'm not even quite sure how it works. Arsham knows how it works. It's based on like some kind of sample data. But you set it up, and basically you can go to Google Analytics and literally navigate around all the typical Google Analytics reports, so you can see your competitors, what their top organic blog posts are, what their top conversion paths are. So Nacho Analytics is Nacho Analytics. That's that guy's analytics.
Push Crew. Push Crew is a push notification tool. So it's also a little piece of code you throw on your site, and then you ever go to the websites and it pops up, it says like block or allow. So most people don't realize, they just click allow.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just click allow, and then basically you could send them notifications on their browser. So you're not sending it through email, you're not sending it through, through the website, the message, but the message is coming on their browser. So they don't even have to be at your website to be able to get that message. So it works really well. We actually used it on a client recently that they do a lot of like flash, like their deals are always changing on their website. So we drove, I think, 116K of revenue just from Push Crew.
Yeah.
And that's click through. That we track that. Like people click on that little pop-up, that little thing that pops up, says, hey, deal on this site, and they click it and they come through and they actually make purchases.
Yeah, because the inbox is noisy, and sometimes your emails are filtered. This is basically 100% deliverability, 100% view rate guarantee.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, and it's free. Like once you'll get a huge opt-in rate, and you're going to get your message to a much wider base of customers.
Yep.